Good afternoon. We'll just give a brief moment to make sure that folks have cleared the waiting room and have connected to audio so that they can hear us.
Shit. Okay. Where is...
Good afternoon. This is administrative hearing before the Mayor's Office of Consumer Affairs and Licensing. Today is Thursday, April 4th, 2024. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to certain temporary amendments to the open meeting law. That is what allows us to meet virtually. This hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the City of Boston's website. We are joined today by the Executive Director of the Mayor's Office of Consumer Affairs and Licensing, Kathleen Joyce, and Director of Operations, Rebecca Fu. I will read into the record today's agenda item. I will ask who is present on behalf of the applicant. You'll make a brief presentation regarding your proposal, followed by questions by the Entertainment Division, and testimony beginning with elected officials or their representatives. For members of the public wishing to testify, please limit your testimony to 2 minutes, and please state your name, address, and affiliation, if any. The only item on this afternoon's agenda is Bar Taco Fenway LLC doing business as Bar Taco, located at 1321 to 1341 Boylston Street. The application before the Entertainment Division is to add background music through speakers on the outdoor patio until 11 p.m. daily. Who's present on behalf of the applicant?
Good afternoon, Attorney Green, Madam Director, and Rebecca. Dennis Quilty, attorney representing the applicant. With us this afternoon is Kelsey Nias, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, on behalf of Bar Taco. The manager of record existing manager of record is McKenna Smith, who was unable to be here today. Kelsey is the operations person who knows all about the application. And in terms of what it is, clearly stated in the application, it's simply to allow outdoor music on the existing outdoor patio till 11 p.m. Excuse me. We had an abutters meeting a very long time ago, almost a year ago, with regard to the initial application for the restaurant, licensing, et cetera, et cetera. At that point, the outdoor patio came up. I don't believe, it was a year ago, I don't believe there was any, I don't think anyone was present at it. We are certainly aware that the Fenway Civic has a standard position against any outdoor music. And we just want to suggest that this would be simply an amenity to the existing space. It'll be conversational level. It is a closing, closing at 11 p.m. for any outdoor music. And again, I mean, we don't think it's anything out of the ordinary. And, we'll certainly, cooperate and work with any neighboring abutters. We simply think a blanket, restriction of this nature, or the blanket restriction that the Fenway Civic would propose is, I mean, a little drastic, I would think, for 2024, given, the activity presently in that neighborhood, Fenway Park, obviously, but the many, many restaurants and, alcohol service locations, et cetera, many of which have outdoor patios. Again, we're just asking for a reasonable use of the space, and if there are modifications that the director would require, we'd be certainly happy to comply with any of those. And I think other than that, Kelsey, is there anything to add? You're muted. Just unmute. There you go.
Nope. Nothing else to add. Other than the speakers are inward facing towards the building, not out towards the street. Not if that makes a huge difference. I just wanted to make a note of that.
Thank you. And the director may have some questions for us, so we'll just stand by.
Thank you. How many speakers are we talking about?
I believe there are 2 outside.
I think it's 2. I'm almost positive it's 2.
Yeah.
The area is, I think it's like, what, 225 square feet?
Yeah, it's small. There's 8 tables out there, and I believe just 2 speakers.
Okay.
And we certainly, if that would be a requirement, we would limit it to 2 speakers.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to see where they're going to be and how many you plan on having.
Okay.
And then, is this a seasonal patio?
Yes, the tables and chairs will be set. They're set right now. However, we're not seating anybody outside just because it's very cold.
But the seasonal, normally, as the commissioner knows, April through October.
Okay,
I mean, they could be in use, but they're not presently.
so is this patio on private property?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I have a note here that looks like you obtained the wrong approvals for sidewalk patio, that you got approvals for public.
I was on an
Sure.
email thread with Andrew through the city this morning. There was, when we set the planters just to kind of block our seating in, they were a couple inches past what was agreed upon in the lease agreement with the landlord, but we have since setting them, adjusted them, and we got Andrew from the city over all of the approved plans and seating this morning.
Okay,
With all the documentation he needed.
and does your landlord in the lease expressly allow outdoor music?
I am not, I'd have to look at the lease. I'm not certain.
Off the
I mean,
top of
certainly
my
calls for
head,
the use of the patio. I'm not sure how specific it gets on that kind of a detail, but we can look into it.
Okay.
I believe it does, because I remember we had this conversation about the speakers facing towards the sidewalk or inward towards the building. So I know that we have, our IT and development team did have this conversation with the landlord.
Kelsey, can you provide if it's not specifically pointed out, can you provide a letter from the landlord allowing the use if the city allows it?
That
Sure.
would be great.
Yep.
And then, what kind of a butters? Is it residential and commercial?
It's both. I think they're, I'm trying to think. I think most of the residential are on the other side of Boylston from us.
Okay,
But it is, as you know, that entire stretch now is a lot of commercial space on the lower levels and residences and businesses on the upper levels. But I believe in this particular location, most of the residences are across the street and farther up the street from this location.
what is the capacity of the outdoor patio?
Hold on a second.
Sorry, I just had it.
I have the floor plan. I'm just trying to think here. Come on. Kelsey, do you know?
There's a total of
I have to count them, but
16, there's a total of 20 seats outside. 8, 10, 12.
So
15.
we've received some complaints about the music inside. So what else besides turning the speakers towards the building will you guys do to make sure that the music is only heard by patrons and it doesn't emanate beyond your space?
If there are complaints, like, we definitely want to adhere to the noise ordinances and make sure that our neighbors are not annoyed. So if there are noise complaints, do you know if those have been directed towards the restaurant directly?
Yes.
Okay. I will make a point to call our regional director after this and just make sure that we are abiding by the decibel level for the city.
and the complaints, I'm sorry, was it Rebecca, did you suggest they're from inside?
Yeah, inside. I think it might be during one-timers with DJs, perhaps.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
We can take that offline after the hearing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. So I am going to turn it over to Rebecca, we do want the floor plan with the live entertainment areas marked on it.
We have it. Yeah.
Okay, we do. So Rebecca, why don't you, if there's anything I've missed.
Excuse me. No, I think you asked everything that needed to be asked. Thank you.
Okay.
Any further questions, Director Joyce or Director Fu?
Nothing for me.
Okay. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter?
Yes, Madam Chair, at this time, the mayor's office like to defer to your judgment. The abutters meeting did occur. Understands from speaking with our previous liaison for this area that there were no concerns raised in that particular abutters meeting. That being said, as the applicant's representation has said, the Fenway Civic Association is fiercely opposed to any type of amplification of music outside of premises. It's, you know, there's a lot of restaurants in this area, and I think they worry about setting a precedent with one and potentially leading to, you know, noise issues for the new residential units that have been installed for this area. With that, we'll defer to the board at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Connor. Madam Director, can I just ask a question? I'm as I sit here unfamiliar. Are there no patios in the Fenway area that have outdoor music?
I don't know, I have to,
I don't think they do.
I'm not gonna tattletale on anybody, but the
Not-
restaurant across the
yeah.
street from us plays music outside.
Yeah. If they do, they might not have permission from us, so.
Uh.
Right.
I'm sorry, actually, can you just submit the site plan just marking where the speakers are located?
yeah,
Thank you.
Kelsey, you have that, and I've got one here. Do you have one that you can just mark and send over?
Yeah, I can get a copy after this call.
Okay.
Great, yeah, it sounds like the two pieces that we are asking for today are that site plan with the location of the speakers included and a letter from the landlord just expressing permission for the outside amplification of sound if it's not already in the lease, which I just took a quick look. I don't believe it is.
Okay.
And again, Director, if there are mitigating factors that you would require, you know, I'm sure within reason the applicant would be willing to comply with any reasonable you know, restrictions that you impose.
thank you, appreciate that. I have no other questions.
Thank you.
Yeah.
With no other individuals wishing to testify, that is the only item before the Entertainment Division this afternoon.
Can I just ask, should the documentation be sent to Rebecca or to yourself?
To the
Thank you.
MoCal email.
MoCal, MoCal, boston.gov. That will go to everybody here.
Kelsey, you got that? MoCal@boston.gov.
Okay.
All right, we'll have that done right away.
Thank you. The Entertainment Division will take this matter under advisement and the Executive Director will issue a written decision. Thank you all. That will adjourn
Thank
this hearing.
you. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you.
Thanks,
Thank
Kelsey.
you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.